Hey y'all, it's Brittany from Enjoy the View Travel. Welcome to the channel. Let's cruise Enchanted Princess Edition, New England and Canada. Hey, it's Brittany with Enjoy the View Travel. So we are in a brand new series. We're still in the Let's Cruise series because that's what we do. But this is Enchanted Princess Edition. And I know we've had one of those, but that was in the Caribbean. And we're headed to New England and Canada this time. So I'm obviously coming to you from the future. So we already cruised, but we are going to go back and we're going to take a look at everything. And I have to be honest, this trip did not turn out exactly how we had planned it. It just didn't. Even before we left, things had already started to change due to the weather. So we're going to get into that more as we go into leaving for the trip. So today is going to be the travel day, arriving into New York City. First time arriving into New York City at JFK. So that's going to be fun. And so we're going to talk about all the things. So I just kind of wanted to give a little introduction and a good morning. So we're at the airport already and waiting for our flight. The flights left on time. We're flying with a new airline this time. So we're flying with American this time. Typically we are Southwest flyers, but lots of things have changed with Southwest, and my dad requires a little bit more leg room. And to be honest, so do I. And so we decided we were going to try something different. And so we got a good deal on some first class tickets with American. And so we decided to try American for this cruise and see how that goes. So we'll talk about that coming up through this series. So let's go ahead and let's get started. All right, let's talk a little bit about the airport first. So this was fall break, and the airport had been reporting that it was going to be super busy for fall break, and it was. They did not tell a lie on that one for sure. So we had been checking, we had decided we were going to drive and we were going to park at the airport. We weren't going to do like an Uber situation. And so we were looking at options on where to park at the airport. We even thought about parking offsite and letting them shuttle us in. So we had, some different options to pick from. But in the end, my parents said they would rather that we parked at the airport. So I said, okay, that's fine. So we decided to do that. And so we did something that we've never done before. We did their valet parking. Now, of course, that's the most expensive option. But what do you get for that? That's the question. Well, one, you literally get out of your car and walk right across to the terminal. Now, if you know, that's not an option anymore unless somebody is dropping you off at the door. Uber in Nashville now has a specific place that they have to load and unload, and you have to walk like basically a 10-minute walk. And so when you have some traveling with you that have some mobility issues, that does create a problem. So this eliminated that problem, and it was a lot closer for them to walk. So that was a no-brainer. It was a very good experience. Yes, does it cost more? Yes, it does. But really, it's like $10 more a day. And I kind of think it was worth it. They help you unload your car. They will help you take your luggage. If you have a lot of luggage, they will help you take your luggage all the way over and to check in. And then they park your car and keep it for how long you're gone. And then you get it back when you come back. And they just bring it right up to you. So, it was a really good experience. We did enjoy it. We'll probably use it again at some point. But it was a really good experience. So we're flying with American. I believe I told you guys that. So I do recommend if you're parking at the airport and you want to do valet parking. I thought it was a good deal. So we're going to talk about American Airlines here in just a second, but I wanted to talk about the parking at the airport. I kept checking because Nashville shows you how full the lots are, and they were all like 3% left, 2% left. And I was like, it just, instead of us having to go in and circle and find a spot, let's just do valet and drive right in. And it was a breeze. So highly recommended, easy to get in, easy to get out. And we had a great experience with it. So thumbs up to the valet parking at B&A. So if you remember back in October, this is when all of the air traffic control shortages and things were going on due to the government shutdown. So we were very nervous because a couple of days before our flight was to leave, Nashville was one of the places that they were delayed by quite a bit. So we were a little nervous about how that was going to play out. It played out just fine for our flights. We did have morning flights, so that might be a little different. But everything went well. We got through TSA quickly. If you have people traveling with you that have mobility issues, make sure that you request a wheelchair assistance, and that will help get you through TSA and to your gate quicker if you have somebody who has mobility issues. So you do have that option to request that with the airlines. They may request additional information. They may not approve it. We have not had any issues with that, and it has helped get us where we need to go a little quicker. Although I will tell you that the ones who push the wheelchairs, they do go pretty fast. So if you are the only one who did not have a wheelchair in your group, make sure you can keep up, because you're going to be hoofing it through the airport. And then also make sure you tip those people. They do a really good service in getting you where you need to be, and tip them accordingly. Remember to do that. So we got through. We got to the gate. I will say one of the things with booking this particular flight is that I had called American Airlines twice. I talked to somebody on the phone, and I also did the online chat. So I talked to two different people, and I asked if the first class tickets got us access to the lounge, and I was told yes on both occasions. And I said specifically, I'm asking about these because they are domestic flights and they are operated by a different company for American Airlines. And I was told yes by both people to both questions. So of course, when we got there, I went and asked up at the gate. I said, I just wanted to verify. I had talked with them online and on the phone, and they both said that, it gave us access to the lounge. And she said, no, ma'am, it does not on domestic flights. So if you have first class domestic flights, that doesn't get you access to the lounge. So just so you know, if you want access to the lounge, you're going to have to go a different route. We did not ask if there were day passes available. Sometimes there are, so you can check with that also, but we did not. We just went and bought us some breakfast and waited for the flight to load. All right, so we got seated. We were able to board first, and we had priority boarding. As you can see, we're right behind the cockpit. We had a really good view into the cockpit as we were waiting for everybody to board the plane and get all, locked in and ready to go. So I just, look at the leg room. I can actually cross my legs, no problem. Plenty of leg room. The seats were extremely comfortable. For those of you who might be larger and in a typical normal seat, you might need a seatbelt extender. No seatbelt extender was needed at all in the seat. So we really enjoyed our experience with American Airlines in their first class seating on this domestic flight. We had a real glass. Of course, when you're in first class, you have real glass instead of like the little paper cups, which was I had forgot. I haven't flown first class in quite some time, and the only time I flew first class before was because I had gotten a free upgrade. So I had forgotten that you get actual glass. So that was a nice little perk as well. And we got some, I think, special snacks, and so it was a very nice experience, and we would definitely do it again. 2 thumbs up. Welcome to New York City. So we arrived in New York City, had a really great flight, really great crew the whole way, and got there, and the wheelchair assist was waiting, and took us across this massive airport. It is huge. If you've never been to JFK, it is ginormous, and you have to go across and up and down and back up, and it was very interesting, and I could see how easily you could get lost in this airport. It was big. Just so you know, they are doing construction on it. Our Uber driver informed us that it's like a 10-year thing. So it's going to take 10 years for it to become this most updated version, and so they're working on opening new places to eat. It looks like where we were that there's going to be a lot of new places to eat. So if you have to be at the airport for a while, you have a lot of options. Of course, it's pricey, but there's still going to be a lot of options. So we got there, and we got across, got our luggage, and got ready to get our Uber. And we'll talk about Uber in a second. All right, so we got an Uber and we got on the road. Traffic in New York. I mean, you hear about traffic in New York, but oh my gosh, to experience it is a whole nother thing. So what initially we thought would be a quick Uber ride to our hotel, because it was 20 miles away, it took over an hour to get there, with just regular everyday New York traffic. It was bumper to bumper everywhere that you went. So we did not pre-book our Uber. We looked, and the difference in pre-booking and booking when you got there wasn't much difference. So we figured we'd wait and see, just, because it has to do with demand and that kind of thing. So we were getting there at like 2:00. So we thought we'll wait and see what it looks like instead of, reserving the Uber. And so when we got there, we were going across to where Ubers pick up, and I was going to click when we got over there, for our Uber to come. Well, there were some people over there with their Uber sign saying, we're already here, if you need an Uber, blah, blah, blah. So we went ahead and took one. Probably my mistake, but so I don't want to say that we were scammed in any way, because I am hearing from other people that, that it can cost as much as it cost us. Our Uber was outrageous. I don't usually pay that much for that. I mean, our Ubers are usually pretty quick and not that expensive. So this was definitely not that. And I think you had to take into consideration the time that it took to get there because of the traffic. But I will say that the gentleman that was our Uber driver was very nice. It was considered the black SUV, so that was a little bit more, but it was a very nice ride. He was very good. He gave us lots of information on the way to the hotel, some history and things as we passed. For example, the cemetery is like the largest cemetery. And we looked it up later, and it's like 400 and something acres, I think. So we learned a lot of good information. He was a safe driver. I didn't have any problems with that. So that was all fine and everything. And I understand that in New York, there are tolls and, different fees and things that they have to pay. And of course, they can't just absorb that. They do have to pass that, along. And I get that. But it just felt like it was way overpriced. But nevertheless, we did. So our Uber was over $300 to go from JFK to Brooklyn. So it was a little pricey, but we got there. and it was fine. It was fine. So anyway, I took some pictures of some of the, signs that say some of the things that you would think would be iconic for New York. I took pictures of New York traffic and the skyline, all those things, that you would do. And this church, it was a really cool church we went by, so I grabbed that picture. So I just wanted to share some of those with you. So just wanted to give you a heads up, be prepared for Uber pricing because it is outrageous no matter how far you go. Okay, so I misspoke earlier. I said we went to Brooklyn. We actually went to Long Island City. Brooklyn is where the cruise left from. So we went to Long Island City. This is the view from our hotel room. And it was very, you would think seeing the subway trains right there that it would be very noisy and loud, but we didn't hear them at all. So that was really well done. It was, our hotel was fine, fairly easy to get to, and came in, room was ready for us. We got to pick, one of the options with Hilton is that when you check in online, you can actually pick your room. So we had already done that before we got there. And it was waiting for us. Now, they had elevators that you had to use your card, and we couldn't get the, you have an option of unlocking your door with your phone. And that's supposed to also work the elevator, and I couldn't get that option to work. So I went and got the card and came back, and I still couldn't get that to work. And so there was a guy coming in to go up to his room, and I said, "Can I ask? This is not working for me." And he says, "You're just not holding it long enough." He says, "You got to hold it a little bit longer." He said, "I didn't work the first time for me either." So I was like, okay. So we finally figured out the elevator. And we went up to the room. So we ate dinner at the hotel. So the hotel does have a restaurant. This is Hilton Garden in Long Island City. And we also ate breakfast there before we left for the cruise the next morning. So we'll talk about that as well. So we had a really nice stay here. Now the rooms are small. We usually stay at the Hilton Marina when we are in Fort Lauderdale. And that room is much bigger and has a balcony. And so, of course, this is New York, so everything is smaller. So the room was smaller, but it was still perfectly fine for us. And so there were 4 of us staying in this room for one night before we went to the cruise, and it worked out just fine. So I grabbed a couple of nighttime pictures from the hotel room as well. And this was a bridge that we could see. I had to kind of zoom in on it. But I thought it was, they have some really, really cool bridges in New York. I got some pictures on the next day when we're headed to the cruise ship too. So lots of that to come up as well. But we did eat at the restaurant, like I said. They had a really good selection. So it was a little cold, and we just happened to be sitting right under a vent, but the next morning it was also cold in there, and we were not sitting under a vent, so it was a little chilly in there. But they had a really good selection of different options, so to cover a wide variety of, what people would like. It was actually reasonably priced, and it did not, it wasn't, busy or anything. So it didn't take extremely long to get our food. So we had a nice experience. Had it not been raining, and I told you weather was going to play a factor in this cruise. And so it had already started raining that late that afternoon when we arrived. So if it hadn't been raining, I would like to have said that we might have walked down the street to see if we could have gotten some authentic New York pizza. But it was raining. And, we were tired from our day of, travel already. And, it is slightly overwhelming, your first time in New York. So we didn't really want to go anywhere. So we just hung out there at the hotel. And it was good. And just so you know, they did have an online menu so that you could see what they had ahead of time, but they did have some specials. And so we ended up getting the specials. I'm wanting to say that I had a chicken Caesar wrap. and fries for dinner, and it was good. It was good. So no complaints at all with the restaurant there. So definitely would recommend eating there if you have the opportunity. And then the next day they did have a breakfast buffet, or you could order from the menu, and we ended up ordering from the menu. All right, we are going to go ahead and wrap up our travel day. We had a really good experience overall with our flights with American Airline, and with getting to our hotel, even with the overpriced Uber, it's okay, and our stay at the Hilton Garden Long Island City. So we've had dinner. We are all tired from traveling the day, and we are all excited about the cruise for tomorrow. So to give you a little heads up, remember I told you that some things had changed. So even before we left Nashville, we already knew. Princess had already contacted us and told us that due to the lovely nor'easter that's coming in. How many of you have cruised with a nor'easter before? I can now say that, but we weren't sure, what to expect. But anyway, Princess had already announced that our first port, which was Newport, Rhode Island, would be canceled. Newport is supposed to be a tender port anyway, so that was going to be canceled, and we were going to skip that and go straight to Boston, and we would be staying in Boston overnight. So it ended up that changes as well, so that's to come, but so just to give you a heads up that our cruise has already changed and we haven't even gotten on the ship. So Princess is really good about letting you know ahead of time when that's going to happen. So you cannot control the weather, and you have to be flexible when you're cruising to your ports, and so we were able to do that and go with the flow, and it all worked out okay, and we're going to have an amazing cruise, but I have to be honest, I didn't end up recording as much as I had planned, so there's going to be a lot of pictures. There is some recording, but there's going to be more pictures probably than recording, because it wasn't exactly the cruise that we had wanted. So anyway, we still had a great time. A cruise is always fun, and so we will start that tomorrow. We'll see you then. Thank you for watching Let's Cruise Enchanted Princess Edition. Be sure to visit us at enjoytheviewtravel.com. Hit that like, share, and notification bell. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next episode.